One building, nearly a century old, continues to out-earn towering new skyscrapers, defying the odds. How does an almost 100-year-old structure remain not only a top architectural landmark but also a financial powerhouse? This isn't just a story of bricks and steel. It's about calculated risks, clever engineering, and visionary foresight that turned a monumental project into a lasting money-making machine. Located in the heart of New York City, this giant still reigns supreme, weathering economic storms and earning hundreds of millions annually. Here's how. The profit challenge of height. Building tall might seem like the straightforward path to making money. More floors mean more rentable space, right? But skyscrapers pose a unique financial puzzle. Each additional floor increases the cost disproportionately. Taller buildings require stronger structures, meaning heavier steel frameworks and thicker foundations. These necessities eat into the usable floor space, reducing the area that can actually be rented out or utilized. So beyond a certain height, adding more floors can start to erase profits instead of boosting them. On top of the rising costs, taller buildings face operational challenges that can also hurt income. Elevators become bottlenecks. The more floors you add, the more elevators are needed to move people efficiently, but elevators themselves take up valuable square footage. This is especially true in buildings with uneven floor population, where some elevators are overused while others are practically empty. If not handled properly, these inefficiencies can lower tenant satisfaction and reduce the building's appeal to high-paying clients. The financial limitations created by height are only part of the problem. In cities like New York, there were also strict rules designed to prevent skyscrapers from blocking too much sunlight on the streets below. These regulations forced architects to compromise on building shapes and floor areas, adding another layer of complexity to maximizing profits. The real challenge was to find the sweet spot between the desire for height, usable space, and legal limits, something that seemed nearly impossible at first glance. The rules around skyscraper design in New York didn't just shape skylines, they dictated a battle between light and shadow. New York's skyline rules. In the 1920s, New York City introduced zoning laws aimed at controlling how skyscrapers impacted public space, light, and air quality at street level. These regulations required buildings to be set back progressively as they rose taller, following an imaginary incline plane drawn at about 25 degrees from the center of the street. No part of the building was allowed to extend beyond this sloped line unless its footprint shrank significantly. This was meant to prevent giant walls of stone and steel from casting the entire neighborhood into shadow. At first glance, the easiest way to comply with these rules while maximizing floor space seemed to be pushing building edges directly to that sloped line, resulting in pyramid-like designs. Many skyscrapers of the era adopted this wedding cake shape. But these massive setbacks created practical problems. Most of the lower floors were broad and packed with cheap offices, while the upper floors became tiny and less valuable. This uneven distribution of space led to inefficient elevator usage and lost opportunities to attract premium tenants on the highest floors. Unfortunately, this pyramid shape reduced the amount of prime office space near windows and high above street noise, spaces that would command the highest rents. Rent prices could vary drastically, fetching up to $3 per square foot near the top windows, but dropping to just over $1 near the noisy, darker lower floors. While these restrictions seemed rigid, the designers of one building discovered a subtle exception that changed everything. A design that defied convention. The Empire State Building's architects uncovered a crucial loophole buried in New York's zoning regulations. If a building reduced its footprint to no more than 25% of the total plot area, it could extend beyond the sloped setback line and rise straight up. This seemingly small detail unlocked immense potential. Instead of following the standard pyramid form all the way to the top, the Empire State Building stepped back its structure several times early in its height, around the 5th, 20th, and 30th floors. This design balanced the need to obey the letter of the law while preserving as much premium office space as possible near the windows at the top. By shrinking the building's footprint at strategic points, it could soar tall and straight like a needle, offering nearly 3 million square feet of office space. This brilliant solution shows how innovative thinking can turn strict rules into an advantage. Rather than sacrifice height or rentable space, the Empire State Building's design created unprecedented efficiency and tenant appeal. It became a vertical city that combined elegance with economics, a feat considered impossible just years earlier. However, great design needed great ground. Choosing the right location to support such an audacious building was its next big gamble. That gamble would prove just as important as the building's shape in securing its lasting success. Like what you're reading? Hit like and subscribe to dive deeper into the secrets behind this iconic landmark. Location as a calculated gamble. Building a skyscraper this ambitious required more than clever design. It demanded a prime foundation. At the time, most of New York's tallest buildings clustered downtown in Lower Manhattan, the established financial center where demand for office space was highest and rents justified upward construction. But the developers of this towering marvel took a different path. They placed their bet on Midtown Manhattan, a then-emerging business district farther north, purchasing a sprawling plot for $16 million. This was a bold move since Midtown had yet to prove itself as a commercial hub. This large site held the old Waldorf Astoria Hotel, which was demolished to clear a plot over 400 feet long and 200 feet wide, unusually large for New York's cramped land market. Such a wide base was perfect for supporting a record-breaking skyscraper. By choosing Midtown, the developers positioned the building at the heart of where commerce was shifting, anticipating the northward growth of the city's business activity. This gamble was a long-term vision, banking on future demand to fill a vast vertical city when others might have preferred immediate returns. The race against time brought engineering ingenuity to new heights. Building fast and efficient speed was essential. In New York, the commercial real estate market revolved around fixed lease dates twice a year, May 1st and October 1st. Any missed deadline meant sitting empty for months, a nightmare for investors losing countless dollars daily. With this tough schedule looming, the Empire State Building's construction had to be nothing short of extraordinary, aiming for completion in just over a year on a tight budget set at $35 million. This push spurred one of the most efficient building projects ever seen. The main structure was crafted from prefabricated steel columns and beams, manufactured off-site in near-identical pieces to streamline assembly. Every day, hundreds of shipments arrived and over 3,000 workers labored on site, assembling the skeleton with remarkable speed, adding more than 4 floors every single week. What made the pace even more impressive was the attention given to worker convenience. Several restaurants operated inside the construction zone, minimizing downtime by sparing workers trips off-site. The steel framework was finished in just 6 months, and within another half year, the entire building was complete, coming in under budget at $25 million. This combination of precision planning, prefabrication, and worker support turned a seemingly impossible deadline into a triumph of industrial efficiency that helped make the building a financial legend. With the foundation laid and the structure soaring, the Empire State Building was ready to face its next challenge, proving it could thrive in a rapidly changing economic world. Diverse revenue streams. The Empire State Building's financial success didn't rely solely on renting office space. From the start, it incorporated multiple income sources that would prove vital, especially during difficult times. 2 observation decks perched on the 86th and 102nd floors offered breathtaking views for just $1 a ticket. These became instant tourist magnets, selling over 1 million tickets in the first year alone and generating steady revenue during the Great Depression when office vacancies soared. This ability to attract visitors helped stabilize the building's finances long before its commercial offices bounced back. Above these decks rose the building's distinctive mast, originally designed as a docking station for airships, a daring but impractical idea. That visionary structure later found its true purpose as a broadcasting tower. The National Broadcasting Company took over the 85th floor, launching the world's first high-powered television transmission from this height. Its signal reached far beyond New York, covering multiple states and dramatically influencing the spread of television across America. Over time, the antennas hosted 9 different TV stations, earning tens of millions annually and boosting the building's income far beyond traditional office rents. The Empire State Building shows how visionary design, bold location choices, and smart diversification can create timeless value. From overcoming complex regulations to pioneering new revenue streams, its success story is a masterclass in long-term thinking. If you enjoyed learning about the secrets behind this iconic skyscraper, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more fascinating insights into the world's most remarkable structures. Thanks for watching.